considering that it was Friday. I feel like I'm making progress every day for sure. Definitely. I get impatient just because I want to be able to do it all by myself. But definitely making steps in the right direction. My plastic surgeon did prepare me for how long I would be in the hospital. He would never give me a definite, you'll get out on this day. He said, you will definitely spend the night. We'll see how you're feeling, and basically leave it up to you as to how you're feeling and getting around. So I was there 2 days, Friday night, Saturday night, came home Sunday afternoon. I was ready to come home. 2 nights at home, very nice to get home. But I think his staff, his nurses, they all prepared me for kind of how the recovery would go. I did not see my incisions or anything until Sunday. I got out of surgery Friday afternoon, and that was all about just pain management, trying to help me stay as comfortable as possible, and they did. And then Saturday, no one, the doctors didn't even take down the bandage. They wanted everything to stay where it was. And then Sunday, Dr. Jacobs came in and kind of talked to me before he took down the bandage, and I think he was really more nervous as to what my reaction would be. I mean, he wasn't nervous, but I think he wanted to make sure that I was ready and prepared. I was okay when I first saw it. I had prepared myself that I prepared myself for the worst and then I hoped for the best. So I had told myself that, it was going to be completely different, that it wasn't going to look the same. I also chose not to look in a mirror. I just chose to take it like from my perspective first, and then later. In fact, I didn't look into a mirror until yesterday. So I kind of just took baby steps in that process. But it actually was better than I thought. It really was not as bad as I had it in my mind, told myself it was going to be. And I think also the fact that Dr. Jacobs chose to put 300 cc's in each side while I was on the table made a difference too. And maybe he did that because he wanted my reaction to not be, or he wanted it to be an easy transition. Mentally, it certainly has been a toll on my body. But mentally, I think it was probably easier because, there is not much there, but it's not concave or, completely like nothing. Today, I am feeling good most of the day. The days are pretty good. I'm taking baby steps. The nights are more difficult. It's hard to get comfortable. You can't really find a good position to rest in. But, I feel pretty good. I feel like I'm going in the right direction, as I mentioned earlier. I do recall in recovery, one of the first things he said was, I got 300 cc's in each side. And I thought, why is he telling me that now? But now I realize that I don't think it happens that often. I don't think many girls come out of that so expanded. And now I know even more why, because it has been, I think, delayed. I'd be more comfortable if it hadn't been that much, but it was going to happen sooner or later. So, spare me some agony later on, I guess. My pain level has been good as long as I stay on top of the pain. And everyone has told me, Debbie has told me, many other women that I've spoken to have said, do not get behind in your pain management or it will be hard to catch back up. And I have to say that the first night we were all exhausted and we did sleep through the time that I should have taken something for pain. And it was horrible. And it took about 2 hours to get back on top of it. But since then, we have not missed any other. I've set my alarm, and as long as you stay on top of the pain, then you will be fine. It is very manageable. I think the unexpected movements, like reaching for something or turning or your instinct to try to bend over, those things catch you off guard because you're like, oh whoa. But just in general, the pain has been really manageable. And they sent me home, with enough pain medication to get through the first week. I'm not sure how long the drains will be in. They want to look at them on Thursday, so that's day after tomorrow. I'll go back and he'll see how everything's draining, and he said if it's still draining a lot, they just prefer to leave them in because it is more comfortable and it helps prevent infection. They haven't really been too difficult to manage. I forget sometimes they're there and they're more in the way. They don't hurt, you can't feel them, and if they're making things better for the long road, then that's fine. I'd rather them err on the side of caution as opposed to try to getting them out too soon. My anxiety is 100 times better. The day I got out of surgery, I said I made the right decision without question. I was so glad to have the surgery behind me, and this had been weighing on my mind for 7 years, and I knew eventually that it was probably going to be the best choice for me, but the surgeon came out and told my mom and my husband that she made the right decision. They were basically taking time bombs, and I felt like, wow, first of all, such great validation, and also that okay, now I can heal and move on and not have to think about this anymore, and I'm great. And the next day the doctor came in and said, you basically, not that we know for sure that you would have gotten cancer, but you basically cured yourself. You don't have to, this does not have to be a worry for you anymore. You'll have other health concerns in your lifetime, but this will not have to be one of them. And so for me, it felt like the weight of the world, even in the midst of recovering and pain and all of that, I still was like, wow, I feel great about the decision. I do not have one regret at all. And that's before even seeing what the outcome will be. As far as the reconstruction, I still feel like no matter what, it was the right thing to do.